Four Knights of the Apocalypse chapter 103 is out, and this was another really hype chapter setting up for the Demon Realm arc as we take our very first steps into this new place that we've only caught glimpses of in Seven Deadly Sins and even the Cursed by Light movie, setting us up for some interactions and seeing characters that we did not expect to see, as well as a specific character, which you can tell from the thumbnail most likely, we do get to see in this chapter in all of his glory, which I'll get into later, but I am honestly very hyped, and we're probably going to get to learn more about Percival in this arc, as well as what's going on with the Demon Realm, and what kind of doorway to Camelot could be accessed through the Demon Realm. But before we get into the video, don't forget to like and subscribe, hit the notification bell for updates on future videos. It really does help, and it shows you guys like the Four Knights content on the channel, and it keeps me motivated to keep bringing you guys these chapter reviews every single week. Now without further ado, let's just hit that intro and get right into the chapter. Chapter 103 of Four Knights of the Apocalypse, titled Off to the Demon Realm. We start off with a really nice looking 2-page color spread showing the Four Knights and co. basically going after mimics in a cave to celebrate the anime's production and the really positive response it has gotten. And I cannot wait for the anime when that comes out. Hopefully it is legally streamed weekly so I can actually do videos on it. But we'll see how that goes when it starts airing. But I just like this really nice little covers page. It shows everybody in their gear, in their nice color sets. It's really nice and cool. But this chapter starts off with Mortlech appearing and leading his elite group of 7 knights. So we get these 7 brand new and really nice looking designed knights. One looks like a regular knight, one has 3-faced helm, one has an eagle or pheasant shaped helmet. One is kind of like, I don't know, a demon-like helmet. One looks like a Brigadier Ranger. And Daltonech and the other one kind of look like standard Chaos Knights, if standard is a word for it. But they're all waiting on the outskirts of Dalnare, wondering if this is actually the road that the Four Knights are going to be taking to reach this town. Daltonech states that, yes, this is going to be the place. This is where Arthur's new prophecy said that they'd be after, and it'd be this afternoon they'd be coming down this road, and that they should be showing up any time now. The Ranger Knight tells the standard looking gladiatorial knight looking guy called Brakla to use his telescope, a magic telescope that allows him to hear and see things from miles away. He looks at it and then he sees the Four Knights and company with Io as they're walking down the road, as they can actually hear what they're saying. Something I didn't mention in the previous arc is that I kind of like how these knights are getting like really cool, specially made magical artifacts and items to help them. And so seeing one that isn't just purely for combat purposes is also really cool and useful as well. Anyway, they recognize Io in the group, wondering what she's doing with the Four Knights. Their leader ends up telling them not to miss a single thing or anything that they do or say. Percival goes out and asks Io if she knows him and asks if they've met before. But Io just smiles at him saying, "Really, you don't remember anything? Even though we all doted on you? Huh, that's a shame." As On's wondering, wait, how come you really not remember this pretty lady? As Percival's like, well, I was living alone with Grandpa on God's finger for 16 years. And On realizes that, yeah, Io's not lying. And at the moment, it is possible that she's the one that taught Percival how to use a demon language. And that honestly does kind of track. Maybe it was in Percival's earlier years, or maybe certain sections of Percival's life was in the Demon Realm or something like that, or maybe he was reborn or something, I don't know. Still, it's interesting to see that Percival was actually in the Demon Realm at some point, so this might have something else to link into Meliodas as well. Then when we make it to the gate to the Demon World is supposed to be, the road to the Demon World, as we see this giant rock that Io has led them to. But Shion quickly states, okay, this is definitely a trick, this is a dead end, right? And then he just says, come on, there's gotta be some sort of gimmick, man, don't just shout out like this. Io tells Percival to place his hand against the rock face, as Percival's hand goes right through it, surprising him and everyone else, as his hand just penetrated into the rock, as it is some sort of illusion, as Gawain points out. So Percival kind of plays around going in and out of this little pocket dimension as he sees a big spiral staircase that will lead all the way underground and into the demon realm. The group walks in and sees this giant trench, as the bottom of this trench is the entrance to the demon realm. Jian then ends up being, again, annoying and pisses me off even more, as he says, why do they have to go to the demon realm anyway? They have to get the Camelot. And yes, that is true, but Io says that there is actually a road in the demon realm that leads to Camelot. There might be others, but she only knows of one that's in the demon world. And Gawain says, so how far down do you have to go? If we don't want to go by foot, why don't we just drop down? As, well, obviously as the only other character that could fly outside of Tristan and Lancelot, she's kind of just joking around, as Lancelot transforms into Sin, just telling Gawain to stop teasing. I feel like Lancelot and Gawain are going to have some more, decent banter as this goes on. I cannot wait to see more interactions between this group. Buton says that Sylvain could hardly walk on this platform, and Tristan says that his horse Escanor cannot. I just want to say something really quick. Tristan naming his horse Escanor. His two swords are named Mael and Esterosa. If Meliodas did not have anything to do with these naming schemes, it's obvious that Tristan honestly kind of admires Mael and especially Escanor. Honestly, his horse does look super manly and macho. So, okay, I'll take it. But would it kill you to have a statue of Escanor in the middle of Leonis, please? This is the second real mention of Escanor in Four Knights completely. So I honestly really want to see something else with Escanor besides a horse. But hey, what a nice... I feel like if you're going to name your horse something to show how cool they are, Escanor is kind of the name to go with. But anyway, Donnie comes up and says, you can leave the horses to me, as he smiles. As everyone begins to walk down the spiral staircase, with Isolde holding onto Tristan's hand as he's guiding her, Jian being jealous, using his salamander spirit to light the way, and Percival is actually guiding Naziennes. Naziennes and Percival's ship here? Possible, that would honestly be kind of cute. And Donnie is trying to concentrate to keep the horses levitating downwards. Lancelot also reminds Donnie to stay focused and watch his step as well. Sylvain is kind of being all giddy, acting like he's flying, but Donnie obviously just tells Sylvain to cut it out, as it's making things more difficult because it's the first time he's moved two things at once before. An angrily says, come on, do you really expect us to trust you with this then? But Donnie's like, come on, let me concentrate, I got this. As Lancelot does actually peer into Donnie's head as he says, this isn't looking good. Stronger, I gotta get even stronger. For Jade also. As Lancelot kind of smirks and laughs because he kind of likes Donnie's way of thinking. He's really grown to love this whole group as his own friend group, and I kind of like it. It's super nice and wholesome. Tristan then apologizes to Lancelot as he says if he wasn't so worthless, Jade wouldn't have lost his life and they wouldn't have needed to come to the demon realm in the first place. And honestly kind of feels bad because Lancelot was supposed to have reunited with his parents by now. But Lance just says, come on, talk about self-conscious prince. As Isolde grabs Tristan and says, look, we're all here because we want to. It was our choice. You did nothing wrong. And I'm sure Jade would feel the same. Jade hated Tristan, but Jade isn't so self-conceited that he would just blame Tristan for everything that's going on here. I'm sure he would understand, even though he does hate Tristan's guts. Still kind of hard to imagine, but adds extra layers to a character. And An and Naziennes agree that this is what they're doing, and they're doing this because they want to enter Camelot and stop Arthur. You get a lone panel of Gawain just staring at everybody, and Donnie reassures them that they're all in the same boat, and asks Percival, that's right Percival? As everyone looks at Percival, and he just shouts out, we're in the same boat. As Lancelot just, okay, Percy, you're the one guy I'll never understand. As Percival just thought this was a name of a special move or something. As now they're entering a more twisted area. As they're walking around, it's very spooky in this cave, and they're very close to the entrance to the demon realm. And they see a light at the end of the cave, as that is the boundary between the demon and human worlds. But Gawain says, okay, now that we're this close, there is two problems we really have to talk about before trespassing in the demon world. And as they ask what the problems are, Gawain mentions it's the demon realm's miasma. As she states that the dark miasma that filled the demon realm since its birth gnaws at bodies and minds of non-demon races, and they're eroded by it. And states, can you imagine what would become of a human who plunged themselves into the demon world? Percival just imagines himself turning into a giant demon bulk monster, as Donnie and the rest realistically think that they're going to melt. And Io actually did not think of this, and that states that she was indeed careless to bring them here without realizing this. But Tristan decides to take care of this, as he uses an ability called Saint Coat to cover the entire group. As this is a goddess protective holy light, and Gawain asks, will this last a day? But Tristan just says, yeah, sorry, no. It's only going to last 6 hours. If it was my mother, it would probably be a whole week. As Gawain scolds Tristan to train on his powers more. And Percival asks what the second problem is. And Gawain just says, well, use your head, or will I just turn it into pudding? The 4 races, the demons and humans included, shared a mutual hatred for each other over 3,000 years. Do you really think that they'd welcome trespassing humans like them with open arms? I mean, yes, obviously, tensions have de-escalated for the most part thanks to Zeldris and Meliodas, but yes, Io even acknowledges that there are some demons that still hold grudges against the other races, especially the other 4 races, the demons, giants, and goddesses, and humans. So she was just saying, if you're hesitant to go in, I wouldn't blame you. And Lancer just says, come on, whatever, let's just go on ahead. But Donnie's like, you could at least hesitate a little bit. But yeah, this is an interesting question. It shows, obviously, the history of the world, because the Holy War literally ended 16 years ago, and 16 years isn't enough to take away 3,000 years of tension and stuff like that. Plus, the demons were unsealed 3,000 years ago, so even if Zeldris is the Demon King and is working to change things, obviously, he would have still some stuff to deal with, and some hatred and stuff like that, and tension between all the different races. Percival says that Lancelot is right, and they should go full steam ahead. Lancelot smirks and smiles with Percival, once again showing how much he loves this group. Super wholesome. And they enter the demon world. As we then cut to, I believe, a castle cube thing, as someone says that they sense the presence of someone outside gate 220. Someone in a throne states, who is it? As this knight says, an unknown group of lost humans most likely, or it's possible they're a gang from Camelot who've recently been doing harm to the Demon Clan, and asks what he should do. Now this guy, I believe, is Bellion from the 5 Nights of Black. They were mentioned in the main series of 7 Deadly Sins, and they were actually the main antagonists for the Prisoners of the Sky movie. Since the movies aren't canon, it's very possible that he would still be alive in the demon world, and why he is not, dead like in the movie. So that's honestly very interesting, and I kind of like that. We might actually get to see these canon characters that were only used in a movie and we never saw in the main series. So that would lead to some really nice fights and interactions. As the next page, he calls out for the Great Demon King with a 2-page spread showing Zeldris in an assault mode form similar to Meliodas in his Demon King throne. Really cool. This is going to be a wallpaper for sure. And my boy is back, with the final page being Zeldris stating to seize them and bring them to him at once. Ending the chapter, and we got a break next week. Whew. Now, setting things up, there is a lot to think about. For one, Zeldris is back, my boy is back, and I'm curious to see what's going to happen. It's going to be hilarious when Tristan sees Zeldris and is like, hey, Uncle Zel. And Zeldris is going to be wondering if Meliodas just sent them there without telling him or something like that. I'm pretty sure Meliodas kept in contact with Zeldris during certain actions, especially with everything going on with Camelot and everything. So, these things could honestly be de-escalated very quickly, but it's very possible the 5 Knights of Black will attack the group, they'll fight, they'll either lose, or they'll win, and they'll just go to see Zeldris, or Zeldris will show up to see them, and the problem will de-escalate itself. But with these 7 Knights, seeing them, they'll probably enter the Demon Realm as well, following them in pursuit, showing that things are different, and maybe we'll take this opportunity to try and fight Zeldris or do something and cause havoc in the Demon Realm. Who knows? But things could get very intense here, and that we would actually most likely get to see Zeldris fight. Whether Arthur will show up, I don't think so. He already only showed up in Leonis to assess the 4 Knights, so I don't think Camelot is going to do a full frontal assault, so Arthur's probably going to stay in Camelot. But it'd be nice to see Zeldris and the 5 Knights of Black in action, or see new characters introduced in this arc for the demon side, and maybe explore the Demon Realm a little more. Either way, I'm very excited, and I can't wait to see Zeldris in action, and see how everyone's going to go on with this, and what secrets the Demon Realm and even Zeldris might have about Percival, and how Percival knows the demon language, and how it seems Percival was raised and doted on by some of the demons in the Demon Realm. I want to know in what else is up with Percival for this entirety of the arc. Maybe he's secretly Zeldris and Gelda's secret child or something, or I have no idea. Which is another funny thing, Zeldris and Gelda's interactions, if they're the same as in the main series of 7 Deadly Sins, that'd be freaking hilarious and I would love to see it. But yeah, that was the chapter. Let me know in the comment section down below your thoughts and opinions. What do you think of Zeldris' new assault mode form? What do you think is going to happen next? What do you think of the Five Knights of Black showing up? And how do you think these new 7 Elite Chaos Knights are going to play a role in this arc? And what's the secret of Percival? Leave me your thoughts and opinions down below, your theories. And once more, don't forget to like and subscribe for updates on future videos. It really does help, and it shows you guys enjoy the content on the channel and want me to keep it going. I'm going to try and make a video on the Demon Realm arc at some point. I'm going to get my thoughts together, and I'll try and make a video on it myself. But with all that said and done, I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and I hope you all have an awesome day.